The drop the price outcry did nothing. Didn't do anything. And that's to be expected. Nintendo has revealed that they have sold 3.5 million Switch 2 units in the first 4 or 5 days, which outdoes the PlayStation 5's sales records. And not only is the fastest selling Nintendo console of all time, it's the fastest selling console of all time. That's pretty much to be expected. I guess it could have been a toss-up. It could have gone either way with the way the economy is. But I don't know. I think that there's a lot to say about Nintendo and the way they understand human psychology and things, which we might get into a little bit. First of all, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Nomad Games. I'm Sep the Nomad, and I am back. I took a little bit of a break. I was on a trip, and now I have returned, and I'm going to be knocking out content. I have purchased my Switch 2. I will have a review shortly. I wanted to kind of give it enough time to play it. Regarding the gameplay in the background, I have been recording gameplay on my PC, and I use the NVIDIA GeForce thing or whatever it's called, and I forgot that that's not on Nintendo. So now I have to buy a $250 Elgato. In the meantime, enjoy the treehouse stuff. But yeah, let's just kind of talk about this for a second here. So Nintendo, whoops, I dropped my notes. Nintendo Switch 2, amidst all the outcry for the price and this, that, and anti-consumerism type of situations going on, still just sold gangbusters. I don't necessarily think a Switch 2 failure was on the table. I think it might have been, at the worst, a little disappointing for their numbers, but here we are, and it's the opposite of that. Now, Nintendo is incredibly good at psychology. They have perfected, they have mastered the concept of get it all out, get all your complaints out. We are going to sit and wait. We are not going to address it much. We are going to do nothing, and you'll get over it. And unfortunately, that just kind of is the truth. Like, obviously, there are probably some people who are steadfast and they did not buy the console and they will not out of principle. Good for you, if that's your prerogative. However, Nintendo knows that that's not going to be everyone. The vocal minority is remaining a minority and is not going to impact sales much, obviously. It's kind of a shame because, in part of me, even though I'm a Nintendo creator and I love Nintendo, part of me wanted a little bit of vindication, a little bit of, yeah, we did it. But at the same time, I didn't want the console to fail. I don't know, it's complicated, but I think Nintendo knows this. They're very good at human psychology. They are masters of sitting back and waiting and letting the storm blow over and doing nothing. They did it with the Joy-Con for many, many years. And that's where we are with this. That's kind of just how it played out. But yes, okay, let's kind of circle back to the PlayStation 5's numbers. That probably was due a lot in part to the fact that it was scalped like crazy. Like, bots were just buying them and then scalping them. So they probably sold out about as quickly almost as they could. With Nintendo's case, I haven't heard much of a scalping issue. I'm sure there is a scalping issue somewhere on the internet, but I haven't heard much about it. Nintendo, months and months ago, said that they were going to mitigate this problem. Like, they had a plan in place to make sure there were units in the States and the biggest markets in Japan, so there is not a scalping issue. And something that I want to go into a little bit regarding this is there's a little bit of surprise on my end. I think that I have, in my own personal experience, for going to get the console at midnight, because if you watch my previous video on how I pre-ordered it from Target, I found a plan to get it faster. Now, what I did was I pre-ordered it at Target, and then I went to a Best Buy, and I said, hey, are you guys doing a launch event? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, well, you have extra units for non-pre-orders. And they were like, we'll see. I went, I showed up about an hour and a half, 2 hours early, and there was like 100 people in line, and they had plenty of consoles for non-pre-order people. In fact, the pre-order people line was very small on the other side. They came out with a clipboard and they gave me a sheet of paper and they said, do you want the Mario Kart bundle or the regular one? I got the Mario Kart bundle. And they were like, you can actually leave, just keep this receipt and then come back before 2 a.m. and you'll get your console. So it was a great experience. I met a couple cool guys in the line and we're gonna play some games together. A lot of Mario Kart. But yeah, that was my experience. And I've also heard rumors from like GameStops and other outlets that like there's not a lot of demand for it. Like they still have units. So I don't know if it's just because Nintendo was so prepared that it feels like there's not a lot of demand because they still have units and like none of them, just like not everything's sold out. But there we are. It's kind of surprising to me that I'm hearing that there wasn't a lot of demand, but this is also the fastest selling console. So obviously the numbers are going to speak for themselves and there's other elements that are involved. Like I said, just Nintendo really being prepared for this. So there doesn't seem to be a shortage of units. And I was kind of thinking there was, even like in my Best Buy line experience, it felt like, wow, are there just like not a lot of people buying these? Like, even though there's like 100 people there, like the fact that like 100 randos who didn't pre-order could just show up and get a console was interesting. So yeah, so that's a little bit about my experience. And again, review coming soon on this thing. I will give a brief thoughts at the end of this video about it. What about legs? What about the legs of the console? So 3.5 million units sold already within the first week. What about throughout the holiday season, the first fiscal year, all that? What does Nintendo need to do to maintain this momentum? I don't think they're gonna, like, obviously it's gonna drop off as time goes on, but I think they still have some momentum to maintain. What are the things they need to do? Directs. I've heard a rumor of a direct coming in June. Hopefully that's true, because what I think the console launched with, really only having Mario Kart, a couple of upgrades, Cyberpunk, which is an old game, and Donkey Kong Bonanza coming in a month from now, that's not a super robust launch. It's enough. Like, I'm having fun with my console and everything, and obviously it's selling like hotcakes. But they need directs to show what the holiday lineup of games is going to be like. What are we going to be purchasing for the holidays? Are we going to get an Animal Crossing? Are we going to get a Mario, a 3D Mario game? What are we going to get? Are we going to get an all-new surprise? Like, they kind of just also announced Splatoon spin-off and a Splatoon 3 upgrade, which is pretty cool. But again, I don't think that's enough. There needs to be directs that make our mouths water and our appetites ready for Switch games in the holiday season. So that's really what I think they need to do, is really focus on a robust direct situation. Another thing that I think can help with the legs is word of mouth. I think a lot of people, including a lot of people in my comments, were either saying they're not going to get it or they're going to wait. And I think now that the word of mouth is going to spread, that the console's actually pretty good. And it's pretty cool. You know, there's some issues, obviously. Nothing is without its issues. But I think word of mouth is really going to spread. And for those people who are waiting, or that they just didn't want to deal with like the high competition atmosphere of trying to pre-order a console or show up in line, and it's just kind of nerve-wracking for people. It is, honestly, for me a little bit as well. But I think those people, maybe that were like on the fence, are going to be tipped over the fence to get it within the coming months up until holiday, or maybe they're just waiting for holiday. So I think that's going to carry the sales through as well, as word of mouth. Another thing that might hurt the legs of it are, you know, the situation with the world economy and how it just kind of wish-washes every day, and we don't know what's going on, and, you know, companies aren't investing in things because they're just sitting until things cool down. People aren't investing in buying anything until things just cool down and they know what their situation's going to be. So I think the world economy is obviously going to play a role in it too. But again, kind of just going back to the games and the directs, that's obviously the big one, right? Like, that's obviously the thing that's going to make it so people are going to not purchase or purchase. And what I think they could really do is, you know, I keep hearing rumors of a 3D Mario game. I don't know if that's real. It sounds more like, what do they call it? What do the kids call it? Hopium? Copium? I don't know if that's actually what we're going to be getting as a 3D Mario anytime within the first fiscal year of the Switch 2. But I think there's a possibility for something big like an Animal Crossing, or maybe they said a Splatoon spin-off, but maybe they're actually working on a Splatoon 4. That's kind of unlikely, but something big, like a huge Nintendo property besides just Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. Like, obviously those are big ones, but they're not going to carry people into the holidays. We have short attention spans. Like, they need to have something for the holidays. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Now, what I want to do briefly is not give you a review, but just give you general thoughts on the Switch 2. It feels solid, it runs well, battery's kind of an issue, connection issues occasionally. Overall, it's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to give you a full review down the road, but those are my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch 2 selling faster than any other console. What do you guys think? Did you expect this? Is this surprising to hear? Did you get a Switch? Are you waiting? Are any of the things that I mentioned in my what the console can do to have legs thing pretty much what you're waiting on to decide if you want to get the console or not? Can I ask you any more questions? Leave your comments in the comment section down below. It was a pleasure doing a video for you guys again. I hope to chat with you guys about this topic and about many more Nintendo topics to come. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Sayonara.